What is the most bullshit reason for a teacher to give you a bad grade? I broke my right arm in 3rd grade. I write with my right hand. The teacher gave me a bad grade because my handwriting with my left hand was barely legible. This would be in a paper from some other students, but you can do better. I got a C. And no other feedback on how to improve. Edit, thanks for the gold and for all the comments. It seems I'm not alone in this one. Not a bad grade, but I remember I was so close to being the first person to ever score a 100% on my 10th grade Spanish final. The one question I got wrong was, ¿Qué tipo de comida es el pescado? What type of food is fish? A. El carne, meat. B. La fruta, fruit. C. El pan, bread. D. La verdura, vegetable. I of course picked meat, and got it wrong. Because my teacher insisted that fish isn't meat. She's a Catholic and eats fish on Fridays during Lent. According to her, the correct answer is fruit, because fish are sometimes known as the fruit of the sea. What the actual fuck? Cram your 99%, senora. In the 90s my family didn't have a computer and I had no access to one. I spent a lot of time on a handwritten assignment for school and the teacher gave me a B, writing as a comment, I would have given you an A if you had typed it up on a computer. I'm still bitter. In high school, I used the word lascivious to describe a character in a book and my teacher didn't know what the word meant. So logically, he took off a point. Because he didn't read my paper. It was a university class where a TA was responsible for grading the papers. He was clearly overwhelmed and just reading introductions and grading based on them alone. I had a 2-part introduction that fully addressed the prompt, but as he only read the first part I got my paper back with a big C at the top. I ended up getting full credit after I challenged the initial grade. She gave me a 0 because she didn't think I read the book. She said I would have gotten a 75% if she thought I read it. 75% of the test questions right supposedly means I didn't actually do the reading. Still one of those things that pisses me off even 10 years later. My teacher lost my coursework on the bus home. I refused to redo a year's worth of work in 3 weeks and I got taken from an A to a C. Bullshit. School sided with him. Got points off because of the bad grammar in the quote I used. The quote was Oppenheimer's I am become death, destroyer of worlds. I had a bitchy religion professor back in junior high school. She lowered the grade of another student because they had written in the exam that when Moses got the 10 commandments there was lightning when the correct answer was thunderbolts. 4th grade, the day before Thanksgiving break. There was no work to be done of course, so we had a busy work art assignment. We were all handed graph paper and told to color each of the squares either yellow, orange, red, or brown. And once we finished, we were supposed to cut out corn shapes to make Indian corn decorations. I already thought this was stupid, and filling in all the squares was tedious. So I traced the corn shape on the graph paper and only filled in the squares that would end up as part of the final product. This meant my decorations looked the same as all the others, but I didn't waste time filling in squares that would just get cut away. When the teacher saw what I had done, she gave me a 50 for skipping work. My friend failed French because she had a French accent, and the teacher couldn't understand her French because she was American. My friend had spoke French since she was 4. A friend of mine got a -1 for scratching his head. Our teacher said he was faking it. A spelling test, not graded by the teacher, but by the kid next to us. Kid named Anthony decided all my words that had letters U and E were switched and marked pretty much every word wrong. They weren't? Like, this was probably in 3rd grade so my handwriting was chicken scratch, but that was really stupid, to me. I was upset, since it was the first time I failed something in school. I was taking a 1-week online class. In the syllabus, the teacher said you must post 6 times throughout the week. So, I posted 6x on Monday, 1x on Wednesday and felt I was good to go. I get my grade, teacher comments and the teacher wrote Kayano 905, you had some good posts early in the week. But then you stopped posting, so I had to mark you down. I was annoyed by this, but then realized it was the last online course in the program and frankly I didn't care. I still graduated and that certificate is proudly sitting in my junk drawer for all to see. staples were not in the right spot for my essay even though I had them in the top left corner like always. We had weekly spelling tests in my 11th grade English class, which I thought was a bit remedial by that point and probably said so in a not completely diplomatic way. The teacher even made you write any words you got wrong 5 times and hand that into her by the end of the class. I would typically get perfect scores on them, but one time I got a test back with no actual errors marked as a 0%. My teacher's explanation was she saw me talking to someone in our free period before class who ended up doing poorly and that was my fault because I distracted them from possibly studying. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more.